GEO, AEO, GAIO, LLMO, AI SEO, WTF. It seems like marketers invent new terms every day to not lose their job. But behind all of these fancy new terms, there's actually one simple idea. And in this video today, I will break down what these acronyms really mean in simple terms, explain the differences between them, and show you the common thread that connects all of them. Let's dive in. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Robert and I've been supporting B2B companies with professional search engine optimization since 2018. And if you would also like to get in touch with me, then definitely go to our website, robertsiegers.com, and book a free consultation call up here. Let's start with the most popular one, GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. I've previously made a full video about GEO, I will link that to you up here, but to summarize it, GEO means optimizing content to be found and cited in AI-powered search engines like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, etc. If we want to compare those two, so the classical SEO, search engine optimization, and now GEO, generative engine optimization, SEO before was basically that you get offered 10 blue links, right, the classical search engine's results page, where you can select from. Generative engine optimization, on the other hand, means that you now get an AI model presented that pre-selects search engines for you. And from an optimization perspective, you not anymore optimize for those 10 blue links, but you optimize for the AI model that pre-selects the search results. The key principles of GEO are to have an easy, readable website structure, including schema markups, that's structured data, and Google offers a full article on that as well, link that below. To have content that generative engines like ChatGPT, Google AI Mode, Gemini can't generate themselves. That's the core thing here. So real business information like processes, if you're an industrial company, application, your product explained in detail, your services explained in detail, but also case studies where your products and services were used, for example, from other B2B companies. And third, being mentioned across the internet, so in online magazines in your niche, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Reddit. Depending on the niche, we have different media or a different set of sources where it's worth to be mentioned. But for most industrial companies, it's definitely niche magazines, first of all, but also popular platforms like WLW, Europages. So everything that is related to your specific niche or industry. I want to present you a Venn diagram here to make those terms more visual. The first candidate is just GEO right now, but I will add the other candidates step by step. The next one we talk about is LLMO. LLMO equals large language model optimization. And it's quite similar to GEO, but more a general field. So while for GEO, you go for separate content pieces or topics, you want to be quoted and mentioned, for example, for your product page, for your blog article, for your service page. Large language model optimization is basically for making your whole brand more visible and popular in general. So LLMO is more to be seen as the umbrella term to grow as a digital brand, or in our scenario, as a B2B industrial brand. Therefore, on the Venn diagram, LLMO is basically the broader circle that is behind GEO. Then we have GAIO, or GAIO, and it's not about sexual orientation. GAIO is Generative Artificial Intelligence Optimization, or General AI Optimization, and is also very closely related to LLMO and GEO. But GAIO is often more used in the SEO or the marketer's language to describe the strategic shift from the classical SEO to the more AI-driven optimization. So it's quite similar to LLMO, and in the Venn diagram, I put it a bit more narrow. It means basically the same thing as LLMO, but I think LLMO as a general thing is even more broader when we talk about all large language models. And then there is AEO or IO. Okay, it's answer engine optimization. And in the past years, even before AI models were introduced, so before that, and I've been in the market for quite a while, Google was already shifting, and we saw that from a search engine perspective to an answer-driven perspective. So Google kind of wanted to push the shift from the search engine to the answer engine. And we already saw that with the introduction of featured questions on the search engine results page, right? When you Google something a couple years ago and you had this featured question box, for example, saying, who is the best agency for SEO, or what is SEO? So you had related answers that would quote from a website directly. And this development already made clear that there will come a shift. And then we saw the next step of Google introducing the AI overview. Then we saw this whole wave of SGE, Search Generative Engine Optimization, and so on. It's basically the next step in the evolution. And now these days, we see finally the Google AI Mode, which is an AI model based on Gemini, which is already implemented in the Google search. Why is Google doing that? It's also very important to understand why Google is going for an answer-based search engine if we want to understand AEO and want to optimize for it. So the user always comes to Google to search for an answer, right? And the better Google can satisfy the user's search intent, the better it is for their business model, because they drive business from selling ads, right? And with AI overviews and the AI models, Google now can serve the user's answer without them needing to visit any website. And that's good for the user because on the one hand, they don't have to invest more time and they directly get the answer. On the other hand, Google can keep the users on the search engine results page or within the AI model and keep them on their platform. Because whenever a user visits a website, Google loses the user from their universe, right? And this is why AEO also aims for optimizing content, so the content appears in the AI model, but without anyone needing to click. It's also called zero-click strategy. And to deliver the best answers for searching users, you can focus on answering frequently asked questions with a clear and structured answer in the most human way as possible. Now you might ask, well, okay, but where do I get the right questions from? Well, you get the right questions and basically directly from where you will find the answer, which is directly in the AI model. So let's have a look. I just Googled CNC machining. Okay, and this is not an elaborate prompt here, but I just want to get the AI mode. And when I open the AI mode, Google represents some of the resources here and give me some answers straight away, even if I didn't ask for them. So I just type the keyword. What I see here is how the process works. Okay, that's interesting because now I could link the question here. The question, if I reverse engineer that, is how does the process of CNC machining looks like? Boom, I have a question. And then we have the methods here. What methods are used for CNC machining? Which advantages does CNC machining have, for example, compared to other methods? And how do you answer those questions? Well, in the same manner as it's represented here. And often the answers are replied straight away and without any fluff and in a really human kind of way. So you don't waste any time here to answer those questions. You put the answer straight away. Well, and here's another nugget for AEO. Where do you represent the answers and the questions? Well, you represent those in your FAQ section on most landing pages these days. Here you can directly answer those frequently asked questions. In the Venn diagram, AEO therefore is definitely a part of GEO, so I put it down here. Now, after hearing all of those new acronyms, what connects them all? The truth is that there is a common thread behind these. In fact, they're not even that different in the end. Let me explain that. So LLMO and GAIO make sure that your brand is generally more visible and relevant through the internet. GEO makes sure that AI models mention and quote your content. AEO makes sure your answers and expertise are featured in quick answers. And this can be basically summarized as, drumroll, SEO. Therefore, SEO is what connects them all. Classical SEO in its core has always been about the same exact stuff. Creating unique, helpful content based on user experience, expertise, and authority, having a well-structured website and a keyword-based, well-thought site structure, and building authority through spreading your content throughout other authority websites and media. And that's what GEO, LLMO, GAIO, AEO, etc. basically are in their core as well. LLMO and GAIO are brand authority through mentions and links on related media and websites. That sounds to me quite a lot like off-page SEO. GEO is unique content presented in a structured manner on a technical, clean website setup that AI models can crawl and mention. Wait, isn't that content marketing, basically? I think so, which is also SEO. And AEO is to write and format real content that people care about so they are satisfied, which is literally on-page SEO. Therefore, classical SEO is the foundation and the fundamentals haven't changed in more than a decade. So, to summarize that, if you want to optimize for AI models, there are some tiny tweaks here and there that I talk about in other videos, but the bottom line is, have a fast-loading website where you can build helpful content on that AI models can't create themselves, that you spread over the internet. Or, how Danny Sullivan from Google says, good SEO is good GEO. And that's it for today's episode. If you, with your B2B company, also want to start with generative engine optimization, then book a free consultation call. We have a full landing page for that as well. GEO for B2B companies. We do this since 2018. If you want to start right now, free consultation call, first link in the description, and I see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day.